Good morning. I haven't done a live in a little while, but dear diary, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. I posted the picture of me with the pink hoodie that says on it, "Underestimate me. That'll be fun." And lots of nice and kind and positive responses to that shirt. But really, the ones that caught me are the ones that say, "It's so you." And that's emotional because this has happened to me pretty much off and on throughout my whole life. Because people don't know what's really going on the inside. Nor did I. Nor did I. And I have two things I need to share with you. Two episodes, incidents, happenings, to explain that. I have lived 70 years, pretty much, past that now. Burdened, shrouded, weighed down, disrupted. Me, the design and purpose from Ephesians 2:10 of Jesus's design and the Father's purpose. And I'm beginning to come into that now with my Time to Be You Facebook group and the place God is leading me now. It's time to be you. And I feel he's actually saying that to me afresh in a brand new way at this time with lots of energy, his energy behind it. Let me explain. I think the best way, yes, there's history. Yes, there's all this shrouding, covering up. But someone said to me a few years ago, "Well, I'm surprised you didn't just do that." It's like they haven't understood the weight of wounds and old patterns and misperceptions that have kept me caged. I'll just say it, caged. Or in a straitjacket. I wish that wouldn't keep bouncing. There's a little... Anyway. So, dear diary, I know that you're here with me, but maybe you didn't catch it in these two events recently. One happened a couple of days ago. I was in a very significant Zoom meeting. I know that you were with me. Really. The disruption of what was happening inside and the pressure of, you better get this right. And, time is of the essence. Time pressure has always been an issue for me. But it's getting better. And make sure you choose your words carefully because you don't want to sound foolish or unintelligent or just plain stupid. So everything, it was like a pressurized capsule that I had to function in for this meeting. Really of my own doing. This is where I used to live. It came back because of the importance of the meeting. But here's the important part. It didn't take me over. It didn't throw me into a fight or flight. It didn't take me all the way up to freeze and fawn. It didn't do that. All different little parts of me wanted to say, you know what, I really can't do this, let me go. And another part of me wanted to say, I'm really not up to this, can you just do all this for me? And another part of me was saying, this is absolutely ridiculous, get a hold of yourself, what do you think is going on here? I mean, all these little parts of me clamoring, most of them, to try to protect me, because that's how they got there. They protected me growing up. Hi and welcome. You can write a comment if you want that you're here. There I was. In a way, I can relate to, interesting, I can relate to Esther on the threshold of the throne room. Just like, now for her, it was the scepter, the Xerxes scepter, to let her come into the room so she knew she wouldn't get in trouble, actually die, be killed. And there, I've lived in that place so many times, and I could feel it rising inside. But the major part of me, well, actually me, the core, Jesus' design of who he made me to be, that loads and loads of other people, you out there, like, underestimate me. That'll be fun. You see me that way. But it's a completely different dynamic that was actually overshadowing all of that. And it's actually been over 10 years, I realized. It's been over 10 years that I've been on this journey, but it somehow or other got pretty intense in the last 5 or 6 years. Hi, Myra. Nice to have you here. And in the midst of that meeting, with all of these other parts calling out to me to basically shut down and get out of there however I possibly could, me, myself, the self that Jesus created, that was in God's mind before he said the words, let there be light. That core, if you will, that essence, that design with a capital D, divine design, was there. And she's getting stronger, in case you can't tell. Hi, Lorraine. Glad to have you here. She's getting stronger. And not necessarily in an aggressive sort of like, I'm taking charge, but just like, it's okay, you little parts. It's okay. This is something we're doing. We're moving forward in this call that Jesus placed on our life, and it's going to be okay. So hang in there. And I did speak about, because in the meeting, it was just two of us, and in the meeting, it was secure enough for me. I didn't want to be willy-nilly with sharing my guts. And I just said, the person was really sensitive to that. I said, I hope I'm not pushing you too much. I said, wait a minute, it's okay. But let me just say, I'm feeling guilty because of the time that I could have been doing. I feel guilty about, because I was away, actually, in Tampa. I did the very best I could with the time that I could choose to do something. Anyway, but I did express as much of the struggle as I felt was appropriate, but also because Sandra knew that time here needed to be focused, and that was okay. And my parts, who have learned, all those little parts that still need so much attention and love and compassion, and I'm paying attention to them, but they knew enough from all the work that I've done. They knew enough to trust me. I've been reminding them of where we are together. 76 years old, come on. We know what's going on around us, and we know where we need to go. And I have certain skills, and God will move me and use them as he sees fit to take me where he wants me to be. And he's moving me, I can see it, right into my purpose, with a capital P. Ephesians 2:10 again. I made it through the meeting. I kept my little list on the side. It was not neat and tidy. 1 dot, skip a line, 2 dot, skip a line. But I had everything there with a number and a circle all over the page of those tasks that I was going to need to do. And finished the meeting with honor and confidence. I wasn't sure of some of the things on the list if I could get them done, but there I was. I tell you this because it's an illustration of the transforming power of Jesus Christ. After this many years, from before I was born, all this stuff was pouring into my body. All of the heredity from generations of my family. But here I am, taking all that stuff off. Like disruptions, disturbances, dysfunction. There you go, you guys. The bonds need to be broken because I'm going forward. Hi, Marilyn. I'm so glad you're here. Now, that was the first time it happened. I didn't end up in the trauma dynamic where the prefrontal cortex disconnects and I just kind of function through something. And then later I say, oh yeah, that was trauma. I got that. That's why I fumbled here and did this other thing or said that. I'm going to work on that. Oh, thank you. And bring it to the Lord. Bring it to the Lord to talk about it and keep going forward. He's reprogramming my brain. The deep ruts of negative habits and patterns are either smaller or they're gone. And he's creating new neural pathways in there of health and peace and joy and intimacy with him. And it's amazing to watch it happen. Yes, I'm putting in the time and the attention, the energy and everything that I can do, and imperfectly. But to watch him work beyond anything. Okay, I need to share the one that happened today because the incident episode, the happening this morning, I said on the way home, it happened at the gym, I said on the way home, I'm going to have to handle this. But I took a deep breath when I was in the parking lot. I texted a friend just the highlights. And I could feel that deep, spontaneous breath, which means my body is coming out of stress, whichever level you're at. If you're at stress or survival, my body was already coming down. And I recognized it. Okay, good. Yes, well, Sandra, this is connected to that other meeting a couple of days ago. It shows that our design, God the Father, God the Son, God the Spirit, they talk to me because they're a trio. And they were telling me, this is our design coming forth. And that's what's supposed to be happening. And I need to share. I need to give him the glory. And at this moment, this is the best place that I know to do that. Dear diary, let's recall this and record it for whatever, for God's purposes. So I've been having a run-in with the manager at the gym where I work out. Now, I don't consider them to be run-ins, but that's clearly what's been going on from the first time this manager came in. I don't know, a couple months ago, whatever. Everything was great until then. Just foolishness, and I just chalk it up. Well, that's just foolishness. Well, that's just foolishness. That's just foolishness. Until somewhat recently, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 now, because I was away. And I was approached I think I posted this actually. But it's significant because today there was follow-up. So I was approached about my glass water bottle that has filtered water in it, because that's what I have at home, and I need to have filtered water to take out toxins because of what's going on with my weight, with my loss of weight and my health, general health. And it's in glass because plastic interferes with whatever it's holding. And I use glass as much as possible. So I have a glass bottle. And he came to me and said, "Is that your drink over there on the whatever?" And I thought, drink? And I thought immediately, got a picture of a coffee cup. And I said, no, mine's over on the table. Oh. So he went away. And after I finished that piece of my workout, I was walking by, and he was up there, and my bottle has an orange label, was on the counter for the trainers. And I said, oh, he was standing right there. I said, it's an open area in front of this desk. I said, oh, there's my bottle. Oh, I don't know how it got over here. I'm so sorry. Oh, well, you can't have glass in the gym. Like, what? Yeah, you can't have glass in the gym, but you can leave it right there. And I thought about, like, why would that happen? And I thought, well, because maybe I said, oh, in case it falls and shatters. And he said, yes, that's right. I said, oh, okay. And I'm just thinking, because it's the old way I thought, and it's not a bad way, but it was all I ever thought was, how can I adjust to what this person needs, wants, requires, demands, is interested in having me do? And that was my knee-jerk reaction to everything. I spent my whole life adjusting to everybody else. And then I started doing my walking. I walk 15 minutes at the end. And I thought, as a matter of fact, yes, I did do it today. I started walking, and I thought, what's the difference between having this bottle over here on the top of the registration counter or over there on the little table? It's the same open area, like diagonally across. What's the difference there? I'm not carrying it around. I'm not tossing it. It just sits there, and I walk over and I have a drink, and then I carry on. Oh, well, that's not such a big deal. I don't mind going to over to the registration at the opposite corner. But it didn't make sense to me. It made absolutely no sense to me, which is who I am. That's how God built me. And I know there's only this particular mindset is, by scientific research, is only 6.2% of the population. So I'm rare. I'm a rare bird. So I walk around a few times, and I decide I need to know. And he was in his office. So I went in and I leaned over because he was kneeling on the floor for some reason, getting something out of a file cabinet drawer, I guess. And I said, could you just answer a question for me? I want to know, what's the difference whether my bottle is on the registration, the trainer's counter, or whether it's right across the open area on the little table by the chair? What's the difference there? Well, it just needs to be there. Actually, we shouldn't have any glass in the building at all. Now realize, this is a place where there are walls filled with mirrors. And some walls in the hallways and stuff are glass, windows too. So there's a big giant mirror, and then a big giant window, and a big giant, and as somebody else pointed out to me today, it's like, there are people with weights in front of these mirrors. If they drop one, it would shatter. But you can't have a little glass bottle. Heavy glass, by the way. Anyway, he said we shouldn't really have glass in the building at all. In other words, he's doing me a favor by letting me have it in the building. And I said, you mean to tell me there's no glass allowed in the bottles allowed in the building? Well, yes. I said, and I'm thinking, so I've broken a rule that I didn't know. Why don't you just... So I said that. I said, well, why don't you post signs so people know? Oh, no, he said, we don't want to post signs. And I thought, why not? Then you catch people off guard. It's not appropriate. I feel bad. I don't want to feel bad. I said, Are you? No, this is this is my train of thought. I'm putting one foot in front of the other to sort it out. Hi, Vicky. I said, you mean you're just going to go around and tell each individual that they're not allowed to have glass bottles in the building? And he said, yes, I'm going to do that. And I just thought, okay, Sandra, that's all you need to know. Just leave. So I went out and I started to walk again. And then reverberation. I just, this is me. Reverberation. It makes absolutely no sense. And now he's going to personally confront anybody who brings in a glass bottle and tell them it's not allowed in the building. Like, foolishness to me, foolishness. So I walked around a couple times and I thought, well, what I really want to do is I want to take my glass bottle. I want to walk out of this building and say, I'm done around here. You know, I go, okay, you can't do that. No, but my workout's pretty much done and I can leave. So I picked up my bottle and my directions for my workout, and a couple of friends were on a treadmill. I stopped and I said, well, I guess I've been informed you're not allowed to have glass bottles in the building and I need to get out of here. So I left. And on the way out, a friend at reception was there. And I wanted her to know, but she was down much further. I said, well, I guess I have to take my glass bottle and go home because they're not allowed in the building. And I left so that I could decide what I wanted to do. I wasn't angry. I was screaming or cuss words or name calling or anything, but this is what's going on and I'm done. And I went home and pondered. And I came up with an idea, creative idea. That's another piece of the way God's built me. I made a little sign. Shall I get it? Let me show you because it's priceless. Mark this down, dear diary. This is not an illustration for other people. Yeah, that's exactly right, Vicky. The enemy's always looking. That's why I have the armor on. I made this. It says medical hydration, do not touch, because he had touched my bottle and moved it somewhere else when he didn't know whose it was. And I've gone now for the last 2 weeks, and I take my bottle and I leave it on that little table. I don't carry it around. Leave it on the little table with the sign showing so people know not to touch my water. And that's felt good because I really like the gym. It's a great place. I have great friends there. And I can go and just do my little workout and go home. It's wonderful. But today, that all changed. That all changed today, which is so interesting. I just thought of this. When I was working out, I thought, because numbers, more than a dozen of the people that I know that were working out there are gone. And somebody told me, so, oh yeah, well, so-and-so and so-and-so, they went to this other gym and that other gym because of the foolishness here. That was interesting. I won't go on about what the foolishness is. It's foolishness. I was thinking, I should check out this other gym. Oh, it's a long drive, but I should just check it out. I did check out the local Y because I can go free there for the Silver Sneakers program. However, I did work out once and I could do that. And the drive is not terrible. The issue is there are so many people and it's so loud. It will just take me time. And there's only one stretching table, which I use for quite a while at the beginning to warm up. And I think other people might not like that, but it could work out. That was fine. Now I'm in the crunch. I just need to make sure that I know what my options are. And there's another gym. That's a longer drive. I might check that. I'm going to check that out anyway. I plan to do that. You're welcome, Vicky. And I had that in my mind this morning. Just, you never know. I might, because again, my friends are leaving. And it's such a great little gym. And it was so wonderful for those 3 years. Or 4. And I was in this narrow area where there's a wall of all mirrors and there's a rack of weights behind. There's also It's not very wide, maybe 10 feet less. Weights, free weights, and balls, the great big exercise balls and things, the Bosu ball too, half balls and all there. And I went over there because there's a stick, a nice long wooden stick, and you take it and you have it in front of you and you put it up over, it stretches out your shoulders behind you. And I was right there in front of the mirrors. While I was there, the manager came along and no names, the manager came along and put back a clock, which the battery had gone dead on that clock 2 weeks ago. And I noticed it because I use that clock, the seconds on that clock, for when I do my weights there, my free weights. And I took it down and put it over there for new batteries because I thought that was helpful, because it was a couple of days had gone by and the clock wasn't moving. Nobody was noticing. And I put it on the trainer's table for new batteries. Today, the manager came marching over, tight lips and all of this, right by me in that area, and put up the clock. He had to use a little box to get on it to put the clock up there. I had to get on a box to get it down too. And then he went away. I thought, ooh, he's not happy about having to take care of that clock. That's not so good. And then while I was putting the stick over my head on my second set of 8, he came over and stood right next to me with the look on his face. Never said a word. Can I talk to you? No, this is not the first time he's interrupted my workout. Harassment, basically. And so he isn't saying anything. And then I was counting and I said, 2 left. In other words, I'm not going to pause to talk to you when I have only 2 left. And so I did my last 2 and I put the stick in my hand and I said, yes, can I help you? You have to take your glass bottle and put it over behind the counter on the trainer's desk. So now I have to hide my glass bottle. Like, if it's not allowed in the building, it shouldn't be allowed in the building. And if it is allowed in the building, why do I have to hide it? Why do I have to change my workout and go all the way around to the trainers and reach over to get a drink when this is like, again, it made no sense. Now, we're getting to the nitty gritty. Hi, D. We're getting to the nitty gritty. That was all background because I had thought through this when I first brought, 2 weeks ago, when I first brought my little medical hydration do not touch bottle to the gym. I thought, if he has to confront me about this, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? And I had thought it through. Like, well, this is a reasonable result. Like, I'm not going to keep putting up because this won't be the end of it. Even if I took the bottle and put it over there, that would not be the end of it. With someone like this, he's been picking and picking and picking all kinds of things. No, I won't mention other things that I think need more attention, like loose equipment spread around the floors and gum wrappers. There was one of those silver sticks of gum wrappers on the gym floor that he had walked by at least 4 times when he came to put the clock back and when he came to talk to me, and it was still there. Anyway, I had decided already, what will I do? Because for me, that's helpful when I get in the middle of a tight spot. Hi, Paul. When I get in the middle of a tight spot, it's helpful if I've thought things through. I don't want to, because in my life, I have too many times said something too quickly. Well, what about this? What about that? Or I've said, well, and then I get myself in trouble. Dear diary, a lot of those. I like to take time and ponder. It's part of the other way God made me, which is really steady. So I'm very methodical. Let's sort this out. Let's determine what my options are. If push comes to shove, Sandra, what are you going to say or do? And I had decided what I was going to do. If he came at me again, I was going to say, well, then maybe we need to cancel my membership. And it was right there. I had just been thinking about it this morning. And so I just looked at him levelly and said that. I said, well, then maybe we need to go to the office and cancel my membership. And he said, yes, I think that's what we need to do, which shocked the daylights out of me. He's a relatively new employee. Maybe he's just finished his 90 days, and so he feels secure. I don't know. But that's a thought that just came. But I thought, whoa, okay. Well, Sandra, you were just thinking about options this morning, and you're strong enough in the Lord, you know he's got a plan for you. He is as much as I cherish this gym, it isn't my life. And God, it's just another opportunity to trust, wait, and hope. So I went over and put my jacket on, and I picked up my glass bottle and my paper and headed, along. He stopped in the hallway. Somebody wanted his attention. The floor cleaner guy. He just something really quickly, but he was intent. He didn't, because I was just going to walk by him. He's like, yeah. Went down to the office, and he goes in front of me in this little office space. Yes, windows, but little office space. And I realized I'm not stepping in there. That was another thing I had told myself. Whatever happens, do not allow yourself to be alone in a space with this man. You can't trust what he's going to say or do. And so I started in and I stepped back and I said, we need a witness here. I'm not prepared to be alone in a room with you. So I felt, yeah, that's what Sandra would do. Are you getting it? The couple of days ago, it was just myself and another person. I had confidence and security, and God gave me the opportunity for self to take over, if you will, to lead, not take over, but to lead, to know where I'm going, to know God is with me, to be sure, and just to say, okay, parts, let's get together here. This is where God has called us. And I had prayed through this and thought through this for the last 3 weeks. And even this morning before, just be ready. And I want to be careful because I spend my workout time, I listen to worship music, and I am with the Lord. Actually, another young man came over and was encouraging me. The guy who designed my BU shirt, BEYOU sweatshirt, that's his company, and he came over to say hi to me and encourage me. Hi, Sylvia. And he encouraged me, and I said, oh, I've got this thing going on with my website where my designers disappeared. Could you just pray about that too and sometime work together? And he's a young guy. He has dreams and goals too. He loves the Lord like mad. And he raises his hands when he's on the treadmill in worship, I'm sure. And so God gave me that. And then I guess you could call it a confrontation, though I didn't feel that way. It was sort of funny. And so he says, oh, I'll get somebody. Like he's all in himself. Sure, I can get somebody. And he goes and gets someone that I really don't know. And she came over and we went and he says to her, you can sit down. Like, oh, okay. And I took the other chair and I turned to her and I explained in this level voice, this is what's happening. You're here as a witness because this is what happened. And I showed her my bottle and I explained, because he didn't ask me anything. And I explained about the water, and it's my medical need to be hydrated while I work out. My doctor's made it clear because of the health issues I've got going on that this is required. And he was hearing it too. That's why I said it. If he'd asked me, I would have told him, but he didn't. And so in front of a witness, I explained the whole thing. And I'm not comfortable being alone in a room with him. That's why I need you as a witness. And then, by then, he'd gone in. He knows my name. I don't know how, but he knows my name. And so he just turned to me, leaned a little on the desk, turned to me and said, it's finished. You're not a member anymore. And I said, already? So fast? Oh, yes. And In other words, no point of discussion. And you'll be reimbursed for what's left of the rest of the year. So he knew. Well, maybe somewhere in there I had said this is a company, a new company, that now they're going to have to reimburse me because of their employees' harassing behavior. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't let that sit very much. Not very long. I'd want to know what was going on. But anyway. Oh, frozen. The connection. I'm sorry about that. Anyway. It was... Okay. Now. Okay, good. Now, I'm not sure how far back, but... It was that interaction, and I went out to the parking lot and texted a couple of my friends from there saying, well, I'm no longer a member, and we'll see what happens. And the response was, everybody's going to miss you. Oh, Sandra, la, la, la. And between there and home, which is maybe 3 minutes, I just, see, Sandra, see how you're growing. See how we are growing you. My Abba and my shepherd. And then good old HS, who is like a baby monitor for me, right here. And I said, okay, I guess I'll do that live that you mentioned a couple of days ago, and I'll add on this cherry on the top. Hi, Carla. And in just 2 days, God gave me, that's what I was saying, God gave me this opportunity 2 days ago in a very secure, safe, but high intensity meeting. It was a Zoom meeting that I was able to hear my parts and reassure them, not totally consciously. I could feel them, but I said, okay, this is something we really need to do. And I gave them voice by saying, it's the time pressure. It's not good. And, we're moving into an area I'm not familiar with. And so that stretches me, things like that I was able to say. I don't want somebody to think I have multiple personalities. Although that's part of all of this. This is an effect of all of this. It's been shown. I got through that, praising God for, wow, that was me. That was Sandra. That was the underestimate me. That'll be fun. And now, today, as I see people saying, that's your shirt, that's you, that's whatever. Now, I have this new challenge to report and to just say, it isn't the end. It isn't the end. I will do my research. I already have to end. So please. Oh, there we go. I was praying the whole time the Lord would bring it back. I probably needed to just unwind this at the end. There are opportunities for me. Like, why should I've been harassed. Why should I just get, pretty much since this membership started, why should I just get the rest of the year? I want full compensation. But most of all, I want to be heard. That's what the point is. I want to be heard. I want you to know that since it's important to me to be heard, I'm doing my best to listen. So go ahead, make comments. Pray over my website that the Lord, I know he's going to fix it. That's what my young friend Nico said to me at the gym. I said, I know God's going to fix it. And he said, yes, he is. He's got a great plan. He is going to fix it. And it was like, yes, thank you, Lord. But pray over that. And all of this new time to be you, trauma and the gospel, and now trauma awareness course that I'm putting together. So please pray. Those of you that listened into my Dear Diary entry, because this is incredible. Well, it isn't. When you know God, it's possible. Thank you, Janice. Listen, I need to go. I need to let you go. Thank you for the love that you have here. Please share this or comment or whatever will help other women see it. because this is what transformation is all about. All right, bye.